Alright, today we're going to go ahead and continue with our solving systems of equations. Today we're going to look at 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So let's do solving systems with 3 variables. Okay? So it's going to be very similar to what you did yesterday, but much longer. Alright? And let's just jump into an example and then I'll give you some steps. So example 1. Show that -1, -4, 5 is a solution to x minus 2y plus 3z equals 22, 2x minus 3y minus z equals 5, and 3x plus y minus 5z equals a negative 32. Okay, so I've given you the solution. Remember that in an ordered pair, it leads with x, then y, then z. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug these into each of the 3 equations and show that each one of them works. So first I'm going to take x minus 2y plus 3z equals 22. So I'm going to plug in the x, the y, and the z into this equation. So x is -1, minus 2 times y is -4, plus 3 times z, z is 5, and now I want to show that that's equal to 22. So I get -1 plus 8 plus 15, so 22 equals 22. So it works there. But you're not done. You now have to show that it works in the middle one, and then you have to show it works in the last one. So you've got to do the math each time. Now you guys don't have to show me quite this much level of detail each time. So you kind of do what you have to do. Obviously you could type it all into your calculator. So I'm going to do 2 times -1 minus 3 times -4 minus 5. Show me that that's 5. So 2 times -1 is -2 plus 12 minus 5, and -2 and 12 minus 5 is 5. Okay, again, you're not done. You have to do the last one. So I have to do 3x plus y minus 5z equals a negative 32. Ooh, I had to squeeze it in there. Alright, so again, plug in 3 times -1 plus -4 minus 5 times 5. So I get -3 minus 4 minus 25 is negative 32. Alright, so a lot of work, but easy. Now let's talk about how to solve them when I don't give you the solution. So to solve 3 equations in 3 unknowns. Step 1. Reduce the system to 2 equations with 2 unknowns. Solve the new system. You'll solve it the way we learned yesterday in class. Step 3, back solve into the second system. Step 4, back solve into the third system, or into the first system. Again, this is going to make a lot more sense once we get started doing the work. Now, I'm going to warn you right now, these things take forever. they take a lot of paper. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and start my next problem on a brand new sheet. Okay, and I'm probably going to use a good portion of the sheet for this one. So example 1, solve. The next thing I want to make sure you guys understand is that the more ordered your work is, the easier it is for you to keep from making a mistake, and the easier it is for me to find your mistake if you make it. So being very meticulous as far as your work goes, okay? So this is the system I want you to solve. The first thing I want to do is get it down to just 2 variables and 2 unknowns. So I need to look at all 3 and decide, do I want to eliminate X? Do I want to eliminate Y? Do I want to eliminate Z? Okay? And it's a preference. Sometimes certain ones are easier than others. So I think I'm going to go ahead and choose Z. I'll tell you why I chose Z. Really I could have chosen Y as well. I don't know why I chose Z. Just liked it. I didn't want to choose X's because X doesn't have anybody who's negative. But here I can at least know that I'm going to eliminate, these 2 will eliminate easy, and those 2 not too bad. Now I like to say what I'm doing. And I really recommend that you do this as well, because then I know what it is you've done. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at equation 1 and equation 2, and I'm going to eliminate Z. So I have 2x plus y minus 2z equals 1, and 3x minus 3y minus z equals 5. So I've decided to eliminate z. So I want this to become a positive 2. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply that second equation by negative 2. Now again, some people like to do this as they write it down. That's a preference thing. I'm showing you all the steps today. So 2x plus y minus 2z equals 1. Negative 6x plus 6y plus 2z equals a negative 10. So when I clean this up, the z's disappear like I wanted them to, and I get negative 4x plus 7y equals, hang on, look at there, I've already made a boo-boo. You see that negative 1 I dropped? Can you please add it back? I get negative 11. Okay, circle that equation, because we're going to need that equation. I apologize for that loud bang. My binder just wanted to attack itself. Alright, now I've eliminated z here. I think I'm also going to eliminate z here, because again, I've got a positive and a negative, and I just need to get rid of that. I can multiply him by 3. Alright, so I'm going to write myself a note again that I'm going to eliminate z in 2 and 3. Alright, so I'm going to write down equation 2 and equation 3. Alright, so I said I want to eliminate z, so I'm going to multiply everybody here by 3. So I get 9x minus 9y minus 3z equals 15. I have x minus 2y plus 3z equals 6. So again, my z's will cancel just like I wanted them to, and I get 10x minus 11y equals 21. So by doing all this work, I now have 2 equations and 2 unknowns. So now I'm going to go ahead and solve these guys. Alright? So believe it or not, this was step 1. Phew! Great day. Alright, step 2. Solve the new system. So negative 4x plus 7y equals a negative 11. 10x minus 11y equals 21. Alright, so take a look at your new system and decide, do you want to eliminate x or do you want to eliminate y? So let's see, x I would do, get them both to 40? No, 20, right? 20. Here I'd have to get them to 77. I think I'll do the 20 route. So I'm going to multiply this guy by 5 and this guy by 2. Alright, so let's see what we've got. Negative 20x plus 35y equals a negative 55. 20x minus 22y equals 42. My x's cancel, and I get, what, 13y equals a negative 13, so y is negative 1. Phew! Alright, I have one variable. That's a good thing. Now, you take that variable, you back solve into either of these equations. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. And the only reason I picked him is less negative. Alright? So, step 3, back solve into step 1. Alright, so I have 10x minus 11y equals 21. We just found out that y was equal to negative 1. So I plug in a negative 1, and I have 10x plus 11 equals 21. And now we're going to go ahead and solve this. Alright, 10x equals 10, so x is 1. Alright, good news. I have 2 of my 3 variables. Now the last step is to go all the way back to the top. Pick one of these 3 equations, and again, make your last substitution. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that work at the top. So step 4, back solve to the original. Alright, so you look at your equations, you pick which one you like. I like this bottom one. Okay, so my bottom one is x minus 2y plus 3z equals 6. You found out that x was 1. We found out y was negative 1, and now I'm looking for z. So I have 1 plus 2 plus 3z equals 6. So 3z, I'm running out of room, is equal to 3, so z is 1. So my final answer is an ordered pair. X is 1, y is negative 1, z was 1. And that is all the work for one problem. So, an enormous place for you to make big mistakes. So now you can see why it's so important that you're neat. Alright, I'm going to do one more with you, and then we'll start class tomorrow by practicing one. Number 2. 2x plus 3y plus 7z equals 13. 3x plus 2y minus 5z equals a negative 22. 5x plus 7y minus 3z equals a negative 28. Alright, so let's take a look and decide who we want to eliminate. Well, let's see. These guys all divide evenly into... well, let's see. These two we could get into 6. These two are 15. Those two are 10. So again, it's kind of just a preference thing. Some people will always eliminate the same one. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate x this time in 1 and 2. Alright, so I'm going to pick these two because I can get one to be, I can get them both to be a 6. Alright, now, so I have 2x plus 3y plus 7z equals 13. 3x plus 2y minus 5z equals a negative 22. Alright, so I need to multiply this guy by 3 and this guy by negative 2. Alrighty, so I get 6x plus 9y plus 21z equals 39. and then I have negative 6x minus 4y plus 10z is equal to 44. Now, it doesn't matter if you had done negative 3 and positive 2. In the end, it all comes out okay. So the x's cancel like I needed them to, and I get 5y plus 31z equals 83. Well, that's a beautiful looking equation. Alright, let's go back and decide, do we want to eliminate x in 2 and 3 or 1 and 2? And I'm going to go ahead and run with 1 and 2. Alright, of course that's not what I did in my notes, so let's hope I don't make a mistake. I said 1 and 3. I think I said 1 and 2, I meant 1 and 3. Alright, so I'm going to write down these guys as they are. Alright, so I'm going to multiply this guy by 5, this guy by negative 2. So 10x plus 15y plus 35z equals 65, and negative 10x minus 14y plus 6z equals 56. Good news, they cancel like I wanted. Y plus 41z equals 121. The good news is here, at least I have just a y. So that's going to make solving the next system a little bit better. Alright, so all that was step 1. So step 2, I'm going to take these two equations and now solve them. So 5y plus 31z equals 83. And 4, I don't know where the heck I got that one, y plus 41z equals 121. Well, what do you think? Should we eliminate y's or z's? This is a tough call, but I think we're going to roll with y. So let's go ahead and multiply him by negative 5. So I get 5y plus 31z equals 83. Negative 5y minus 205z is equal to negative 605. Oh, this is beautiful. Luckily, these cancel, and I have negative 174z equals 522 negative. So here's where I said it doesn't matter how you canceled, because now my negatives are going to drop off. So if you had done it a different way, we are both going to come up with z is equal to 3. Phew! Alright, I got one variable. Let's go get a second one. Let's go back to the system. Pick an equation. What do you like? I think I'm going to roll with this equation over here, because he's already got y. Alright, so step 3. Back solve into step 1. So y plus 41z equals 121. And you just found out that z was 3. So now I get y plus, where's my notes? 123 is equal to 121. So y is equal to negative 2. Alright, I've got a second variable. Life is good. Finally, go all the way back up to the top and back solve into the original. Alright, so all the way back up here, pick an equation that looks good to you. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to roll with the top one, because it's got no negatives. Alright, so I get 2x plus 3y plus 7z equals 13. I don't know x, I do know y, and I do know z. So y is negative 2, z is 3, and now we just need to solve this. So 2x minus 6 plus 21 equals 13. So 2x plus 15 equals 13. I've totally run out of room. So I get 2x equals a negative 2, so x is negative 1. So my final answer, negative 1, negative 2, 3. So you're only going to have about 15 or 20 of these on the next test, so piece of cake. I'm kidding, guys. You're going to have one on the daily quiz tomorrow. It's going to take us that long to get through it. Alrighty? So, practice problems. I'm just going to give you a couple to test the solutions tonight, okay? And we'll start it again tomorrow in class. Have a great night.